Hello, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. And welcome to another episode of the Spit Talk podcast. My name is Jan.
And my name is Aaron.
And
And yeah,
today,
that's it.
that's it. Yeah,
That's
today
it.
it's just us two. Someone's on vacation. I'm just kidding. Uh,
Thanksgiving vacation.
Thanksgiving vacation. Yeah. We're just gonna. I don't know. What are we talking about, Aaron?
Uh, I think the last episodes that we brought up, I'm pretty sure we've been on a slasher or like October-ish hype, and we're getting over the hump of October. But
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna go ahead and do another retro review of a movie that's technically October, but in Thanksgiving, and that movie is Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, baby. Yeah. Before we do get started, though, I do want to ask: have you decided on a belt, my boy?
Let's hear this.
I just
Let's
want to
check.
know
Damn,
what
I can't
belt.
believe this is gonna be on the.
What belt are you going for?
I
Come
don't know.
on.
I might go. I didn't know they changed the belt because I remember your belt was black and gold. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that one's pretty clean, like
Yeah.
on the
This one,
on the
right?
stuff. Yeah. But I
Okay.
just saw that. I'm like, oh, there's like a gold on gold, which
Yeah.
is basically Cody Rhodes' his
That's a
own.
new one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I was like, oh, okay, so maybe that one. I just
Mm,
saw a TikTok of what's the LA Knight with his US
the new
champion.
strap.
No, it just felt very too American. So I think it's
Mm,
just trying to find one without an eagle that's like not too American. You know
okay.
what I'm saying? So maybe the gold on gold,
Okay.
but we'll see.
Good enough for me. I mean, shit. I'd still go with the spinner if I had the chance or the choice.
No,
But
it's up there, but like
yeah.
there's something about the new one where, or even yours, it's like simple, but it gets the point across.
Yeah, it's just right in your face. I think
Yeah,
that's
but
it.
I like what you said. Big Gold is a classic look. The old WWE champion is a classic look as well. But it's just like
Yeah.
I'm more of a like I like how it's just a big W and you get the idea of like what it
Yeah,
is. Like the
of
logo
what
is
it
there.
is. Yeah. Like you know where it's from. You don't
Yeah.
have to look
So
deep.
exactly.
Um
So I like the concept of it.
yeah, exactly. And speaking of champions, um I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, Thanksgiving. So we're gonna talk about Thanksgiving, which is a Thanksgiving movie. Um that so do you know anything about the background of Thanksgiving at all? Like just that movie in general?
No, but when I watched it, I wasn't expecting it to be as gory as a similar film that I watched. So I
Right.
that took a turn of events for me. I was like, oh, interesting. Sony had to do something pretty gory for this film, but I
Yeah.
have nothing going into watching Thanksgiving or know nothing about what it is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Thanksgiving's directed by so it came out last year, 2023, and it's directed by Eli
Eli
Roth,
Roth.
who
Yeah, I saw that at the end credit.
yeah.
Then I was like,
So that kind
oh,
of
that's why. Yeah.
explains the whole, the whole gory the graphicness of the whole thing. But basically, so this whole thing started um I I didn't really know this going into it too. I just found out after the fact when I watched it last year. So this was like there was a movie from 2007 called Grindhouse. Do you remember that movie?
No.
Okay, so there's Grindhouse. It was like a double feature with Robert Rodriguez, Quentin Tarantino, and there was like a fake trailer in that movie for Thanksgiving that was also directed by Eli
Oh.
Roth. And there's some scenes in there that he actually, he took so like it was it's like a fake trailer for like a fake movie. So, there were some scenes in there and it was basically the exact same thing with John Carver, the Thanksgiving killer, and it was just like a really fun concept. Um, so from
That's
there, yeah, they greenlit that and made that into its own movie. So which is what we got for this one. And there's some scenes in the exact movie that is actually kind of straight out of that trailer too. So like I think there's some scenes in the parade. If you know what I'm talking
mm,
about, the exact scene with the chicken or the turkey, I mean,
uh,
that's that stuff's in the trailer from the fake one. So yeah, I thought it was really cool when I saw that. And you could probably check it out. It's probably on YouTube somewhere. Like you'll find the fake trailer for that old one.
Yeah.
But you know, as a lover of slasher films, I really did enjoy this one. And slasher films always come with like like a who done
Who
it type
done
of a
it?
thing. So obviously I'm gonna love it. But what did you? I want to know what you thought about it. Like I want to know like your thoughts on
I
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the way how it started was a good start of how like a Black Friday Thanksgiving
Hmm.
situation where like back in the days where like people would go crazy over that stuff like
Yeah.
led to like violent murders. It took a while to set that up for some reason, but
Hmm.
it was much needed to progress the story because
Definitely. Yeah.
I think that was the slowest part of it was like I was like I think 10 to 15 minutes and I was like, yo, where is the killer? Like
Like,
I
what's
was trying to
happening?
yeah, like
Yeah.
what's going on because I'm like I'm just getting like a little town vibe like situation but nothing's really going on until the incident happens and yeah, like after that, that sets the mood. We get the title sequences, and then everything's from there. Um,
Right.
but yeah, like every whodunit film, like everyone's on the idea of like, oh, who really like, of course, like who you're guessing along the way. And I had my guesses. My brother had his guesses.
Hmm.
So like it
Was
was
it
just a fun yeah it was just a fun watch, and I was down for the ride. You know,
right? Were they right? Were your guesses right?
my two were not right.
Okay. Yeah, my own was not right either. But yeah, so I guess to start off, so basically the whole beginning that Aaron's talking about is like there's this whole Black Friday craze that happens in the beginning that kind of sets the tone for what transpires. And it's really I thought it was really well done because it kind of just builds up to it, and that like once it hits and once all that stuff happens and you're like what the fuck is happening, like why this is so nut, it's like really crazy, it's like really out there, and it kind of sets a tone for oh we're getting this graphic, okay, cool. um and I just liked how everything was kind of set up in a subtle way, like how like I don't know, that the kid was like, "Oh, look at it, the baseball star or whatever, blah blah blah." All this little things here and there, and and all of a sudden he breaks his fucking arm in the in the
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the thing. So like it was like little things here and there, but then like once you hit and that stuff happens, you're like, "Holy fuck!" And then it sets a tone, and then a year later, there's this masked killer kind of killing the people that kind of had a hand in
The
maybe why things
situation,
went
yeah.
wrong, yeah, in the
But
situation. Yeah.
yeah, but I guess to how he chooses his killers that we were forgetting is that there was a video that I guess these hooligans, I guess
Mhm.
we would put them like that set the tone for the massacre, right? They put it
Yeah.
on YouTube and it kind of showed the characters who were, I guess, or yeah, the people who were part of the situation that escalated it. So so basically the killer's going over killing those that were in the video
Mhm.
basically. So it wasn't the whole, you know, store, but it's just the remaining like
Yeah,
seven people that were in the story.
basically. And some of these people are assholes too. Like they like
Yeah,
the diner
straight up
lady.
just
I
for
fuck
just for a waffle
for a waffle iron or
a waffle
something.
iron, yeah. That's
Like what the
crazy.
fuck, dude? Yeah, so it was a lot of this stuff was justified, and I was kind of cheering a little bit, like kind of like yeah, fuck that woman, and then but I mean, obviously it's a slasher film, and yeah, and you obviously get that one character that's kind of like the Sydney Prescott, I guess, of the whole thing, um, which they did fine. I kind of did like the cast here a little bit too. They're not like the bigger named
Yeah, no
actors, and
names, yeah.
yeah, so and that kind of helped because it's like it's a smaller town feel. I'm thinking Plymouth. Was it
Yeah,
Plymouth,
Plymouth, yeah.
Massachusetts? I don't remember,
Yeah, it was.
but yeah. So it kind of helped. It helped with the overall vibe of the film. And some of the kills were pretty creative too. With the stuff that
Did you
John
have a
Carver
favorite?
did.
Did
I
you have
don't
a
know. Maybe
favorite?
uh maybe the trampoline one. I thought the Giant
Okay, yeah,
Primo.
that was mine. I was like,
Okay,
"Yo!" I wasn't expecting that.
I know because it kind of just
Like,
shoots
yeah, I
up
was
like
like,
that all of
"Oh."
a sudden. Yeah, that one was
That
pretty cool.
that one
I
did
think that
sit well with me too. I was like, "Oh shit!" Like
that
if
whole
that
thing
happened,
too,
that's
because
crazy.
when he just turned that guy's head,
Oh
and then all
yeah,
of a sudden it's
yeah.
just
So
like,
I think that's another thing to add on to this slasher film. I'm not saying it's the best slasher film,
uh,
but I like how it's able to capture the like the surprise moments because it's like
yeah,
it doesn't build up. It's just like it just happens.
yeah,
Like you know it's coming, but for some reason, like it's also you don't know it's coming because of like
right,
how the sound plays out and how I guess quickly they do it. So I
right.
think that's what adds to this film.
Right, and I think they did. Yeah, they do a pretty good job of like kind of setting you up to think, oh, maybe it's this guy, and and then you start over, on kind of thinking a different direction and stuff, and then by the end, when they do reveal that, you're like, oh, okay. Watching it a second time just today, you kind of could see some of the little, nuances of the killer being the killer. Like you kind of understood like what's happening and how he's getting all this information. I mean, I probably didn't catch that the first time. I mean, you probably already caught it the first time, but I was just kind of in it for the ride of the
Mm,
first time I watched this. Um, so yeah, when you finally realize like, oh, that's the reason why he knows all of this. It's literally because
yeah, yeah.
of the
X,
way
Y,
that
and Z. Yeah.
yeah, all of this, and then
And we don't
that's
want
why
to
he's not
spoil it for
there.
you. I guess
Yeah,
we're trying to like not spoil it for
we're
you guys.
trying
So
not to.
maybe on Thanksgiving you guys
Yeah,
can watch it.
yeah, and because this it's such a fresh take because it's like one of those like for out of all the holidays, I don't think Thanksgiving has
Thanksgiving.
had
Yeah.
like a horror film yet. Like people watch like usually like I don't know like what planes, trains, automobiles, like like the like lighthearted films. Christmas has their horror movies. Fucking Halloween, obviously. There's already My Bloody Valentine for fucking February.
Hmm.
Thanksgiving was like the very last one that I could think of, maybe. So it's kind of nice that we have something for that, especially for like horror lovers or slasher lovers, if you want to even say that. But yeah, all in all, very fun. I thought that it was really creative, and Eli Roth has a tendency to go balls out when it comes to the
Yeah.
graphicness. But I think a lot of the stuff. I mean, he doesn't go like full on Hostel or full on whatever the other movies that he does is, but it's still there, and
Yeah.
either way, it's still pretty warranted anyway. So
But
I
yeah,
I do
just
like
I
that.
think just also recovering from October, and we'll talk about
Mhm.
it later as well. But like, I think this is what I've seen so far. Like, this has been a little lighthearted compared to like the October movies I've watched. So,
Mhm. Mhm.
and so I was like,
Right.
yeah, so if you know what I'm talking about, then you'll understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do liked again the killing, and I liked how the killer, like I guess he was like a obviously the big part, but I liked how he just chose to like the way how he killed these people, and they were like pretty fat. He was like pretty fast with it. I think there was also a point where we thought there was two of them, like two
Mhm.
working together. So
Yeah.
that was one of my guesses. I was like, hey, maybe there's two of them working
Right.
together.
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah.
definitely in the vein of like a Scream maybe.
Hmm.
But it's not necessarily, it's not necessarily a bad thing. So it's like don't I guess don't come into it expecting something new in terms of, something revolutionary in terms of like how the story is told or anything like that. Just go in there to have a good time, a fun time. And I think you'll really get a kick out of it. And like us, like I kind of was like just in it for the ride, trying to figure out who the fuck the guy is in the first place. Um, but yeah, overall, it was pretty good. I liked it a lot. And
Hmm.
that pretty much is all my thoughts on it right now. So how did it
Yeah,
go?
so I'm on the same boat. Like, would I watch it again? Like our Beetlejuice review, I feel like this would be on same par. Like, if I wanted something exciting to watch on Thanksgiving, would
Hmm.
either be this or I would go with the good classic that came out during Thanksgiving, Creed. So those are like probably the two
I
movies I'll
fucking
probably watch.
forgot Creed was at Thanksgiving.
Creed was
Yeah,
a Thanksgiving movie, so I'll probably
I
watch
guess.
Creed
Yeah,
or this one if I want to go a little if I'm missing Halloween or missing October,
yeah.
like Thanksgiving is a good
But
film.
did you know though? Next year John Carver is back, baby. He's coming back for those leftovers. He's gonna kill these fucking people. There's a sequel. They're making a
Okay,
sequel
yeah.
for this.
See, I,
Yeah,
I, I, I saw like I saw like on the internet. I was googling if there was gonna be a second one or two
yeah.
because they didn't find their body, or he
Right. And
yeah.
so like I think it did pretty well in the box office. Probably the week after Eli Roth himself came out on social media, he's like, "Hey, thank you for supporting.
Okay,
I got good news. John Carver's coming back 2025. We just need some time to write the script. Blah 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 blah." I was like, "Okay, cool."
okay,
They greenlit it basically. So
perfect.
yeah.
Because
So
I
that's a
was on the I was so close to saying this was like a one and done film, but I totally forgot
yeah.
they saved that they didn't find his body.
Definitely. And it's cool because it's like now we get a new Thanksgiving ish tradition. You know what I mean? Like there's something coming out
Yeah,
maybe
pretty
every couple
much.
years. That's in this kind of a vein. So pretty exciting. Yeah, Thanksgiving. Everyone give it a watch. It's on Netflix right now, I think. Well, that's where
Yes,
I watched it. I don't know if it'll still be
Netflix,
on
Netflix.
Netflix whenever you fucking hear this episode, but yeah. Anyways, on to our next thing. We do have one more thing we want to talk about, and that is
Oh, before we talk about that, I did want to
oh yeah,
ask you about this little show that I'm watching. And
okay.
this show is about, I'm not sure if you heard of it, but I'm watching this show about this guy. He's coming up to be a top tier person, right? And that show is The Penguin. So have you watched
What
like
the
The
fuck?
Penguin?
Yes, I watched the Penguin,
So
motherfucker.
yeah, I took the
Yeah.
time to finally watch The Penguin. I'm caught up.
Yes,
So in like, I think like before we shot this, I was like, I'm on the last episode. I'm like 30 minutes. There, I need like 30 more minutes in, but I think I'm good enough if you want to talk about it, because I think
dude.
episode 8 comes out this Sunday.
It does.
Okay,
Well, no, I've kind of talked about it, a little bit. What do you think about the Penguin so far?
it's really good.
It's really good. Yeah.
I
How
was
do you feel
teasing
about?
him. I was like, "Oh, sus, Aaron, you're sus."
Yeah, fuck you. Yeah, right. Like,
No,
he's
but
like,
yeah,
it's alright.
it's really really good. But it's so funny because like I was like analyzing it. I was like, how come Batman's
Where the fuck is?
like no superhero or just basically like his rogues gallery, the most interesting characters are the ones without powers. So we always
You
get
know?
cool jokers like freaking Oswald is a very interesting character with like his rights. So I'm like, dang dude.
Hmm.
So just give me more like realistic characters and I can root for them but also despise them. And that's what
Yeah,
the Penguin does. Like I can
which
root
is
for him, but
definitely
also
the
despise
Penguin,
him.
and that's what I
Yeah,
said. Like he doesn't. They don't make you. I mean, they do make you empathize with him a little bit, but they don't make it to the point where he's like, oh, he's an anti-hero now, or he's like,
yeah, yeah,
he's still a villain. He's
yeah.
still an asshole, and I do love that. And Colin Farrell is fucking
Dude,
great.
that should be what's it called?
His Emmy,
Emmy.
maybe.
Yeah, his
Yeah,
Emmy.
him
Her and
and
the Falcone lady.
yeah, Sophia Falcone is
Yeah.
really good. I think the first episode that she was in and how scary she was,
Oh, dude, yeah.
her
It
vibe,
was like the violin when the smile like turned into a straight face. I was like, oh,
dude, it's so
I'm
good.
expecting something.
Right, especially at the end too when she has Oz and she's trying to interrogate him. I was like, yo, she's so good, dude.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
When he was like naked, like on
yeah.
the. Okay, yeah, yeah. That
Speaking
one
of
was good.
naked, like how the fuck are those prosthetics? Right? I was like, dude, what the fuck is
It's
this? Like, I
good.
don't know how they're doing this. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think my favorite episode though is the Sophia stuff. Um,
Oh, in
like
Arkham.
when yeah, because it's kind of like because
I wasn't vibing with that.
well for me it was kind of like this. So the whole time she's been telling you, I'm not whatever. I'm not the hangman, you know. But she seems super off that you're like, yeah, fucking right. You killed these fucking people, whatever. And then, contrast that with what actually happened and what they did to get her to that point. I was like, wow, okay. That's really fucked up. And you kind of start rooting for Sophia a little bit because it's like all that stuff that she's been saying all this
It's
stuff about
yeah, yeah.
it is fucking
It's
true. Like
true.
she's not. fucking lying to you. She's like, I didn't kill those women. I'm not the fucking hangman, or
Mm-hmm.
and all that stuff. The only person that I've seen her kill is, well, no, that's not true. And before all that, like after whatever, it was that one
The
character
girl,
in
yeah.
Arkham. I don't remember her name, but yeah, it was,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it was pretty cool. Victor is a cool one. I like Victor a lot too, and
Oh yeah, I better not. Well, I didn't finish episode 7, but don't spoil. But I hope he doesn't.
oh, I know.
But
I'm not spoiled. Don't worry.
I've heard. I don't know, man. I saw Colin Firth say like, "Oh man, if you still like Oswald from episode 1 through 7, I think you'll despise him in episode 8." And I'm hoping
Mm,
it's not he kills
like
Victor.
he kills Victor.
Yeah, I was
Ah,
like, "Yo,
fuck.
what the heck? The only guy that's been on your side, dude."
I know. I mean, yeah, I know.
Dude,
It's kind of
episode 7 opened up pretty crazy too. I was like, yo,
it
what the
did.
fuck, dude? This guy's nuts.
The brothers,
Yeah, I
the
was like,
brothers,
yo,
right?
this guy's down, dude.
Yeah, and I don't
He's like,
know. I don't know if he intended to do that, like, or it was just like negligence on his part after the fact. But damn, that was really dark.
nah,
I was like,
he's cold, dude.
he
He's
is.
totally
Yeah,
cold.
yeah.
So, I'm excited to finish this up by Sunday.
Uh,
Veterans Day, like Veterans Day weekend, right? But
right.
yeah, dude, I'm glad I watched it, and it sets me up for the next review that we're gonna do. So
Mm-hmm.
tune in for that
Tune in for
review.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
But
The
yeah, anyway, that's our short, quick review of like at least the
of
Penguin. Then we're
of
gonna go
Oz
ahead and go.
Cobb. What do you feel
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Oz Cobb? I told you this. I kind of gave you a hint about his name, them changing all that stuff. Does it bother you a little bit or no?
What's his real name? Oz Cobblepot,
Cobblepot,
right?
Oswald
Yeah.
Cobblepot. So they changed it from that to Oz Cobb because it's more realistic.
I'm
You know?
fine with it.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it works, and to
Okay.
me, I'm not a very big gangster kind of guy,
Uh huh.
but I like how it. I guess talking more like I guess how I like how it blends all the things that I do like. It
Uh
gives
huh.
me a little Breaking Bad feel. It gives me a little, a
Mm-hmm.
little that it brings in that gangster feel, and it has that little comic book feel because uh, the Penguin. So like I like how
Yeah.
everything's combining and how it connects to the Batman and like with the killings and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just a good melting pot of things that I like that works so well, and like the runtime doesn't bother me as much. So it's pretty good for me. And I prefer like 20 to 30 minutes. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
surprised that I'm still watching like hour-long films or hour-long episodes like
Episodes of
this.
shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's why I did it weekly because I know it was gonna be long anyway. So I
Hey,
might
but
as
I
well.
killed it in like
I
four
know.
days, so
You
I'm like, yo,
started it
I'm
like
pretty fast.
I know. I told you it was like it was really good. Like I was scared that the quality was gonna come down a little bit.
Deteriorate?
Yeah,
No.
but it was still pretty good. And you kind of just in it for the ride. The one gripe is where the fuck is Batman in this whole goddamn scenario? Like
No, I
this
think
whole
it helps because the timeline kind of sets it. So like
yeah
episode 1 wasn't basic, it wasn't after Scarecrow. It was like within that realm technically.
of
Then
the
I think
Riddler.
episode 1 oh yeah, Riddler, sorry. Then
Yeah.
episode like 2 sets up like, oh, that's Riddler's trap, right? So like there's still like a past and a present kind of thing and a
No, it's the whole thing was after the Riddler, after the
no.
Batman already.
Are you
Yeah, it
sure?
just keeps
Or was
going.
that where was that point of view where like Victor and like all the
That was a
bombs were
flashback.
going?
That was
Oh,
a
okay.
flashback. So that was a flashback with like when Victor and the flood, the whole
Yeah,
floods.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was a flashback to that happening.
Ah, okay.
And then it went back to I think that was the only time they went and Falcone like that or
Yeah,
Carmine
yeah, that
Falcone
one.
with a
Okay.
recast which I was fine with. I guess I mean it's like he's playing a younger version anyway of himself.
Mhm.
But I did miss what's his name, the guy from Transformers and all that, John Turturro.
Oh, him? Yeah, he was
Yeah,
good.
I did miss him a little bit, but he's fine. Mark Strong is fine also. um
Dude, that the guy who voices I don't know his name, but the guy who voices Patrick has the one what's his name? Not Falcone, Maroney. He voices Patrick's, but like he's always
No, he
playing the
voices
villain.
Mr. Krabs.
Mr. Krabs,
He
sorry, yeah,
plays. He
Mr.
voices Mr.
Krabs.
Krabs. Yeah,
But like
I fucking love that guy's voice.
I like how that guy's always like the villain lately. He's like the villain in the one that boys show, the
Gen V. He was in
Gen
Gen
V. I was
V.
like, dude, man, make
Yeah,
this guy always the bad guy. And
he is a
wasn't he
good.
like a
He's
villain
good.
in like The Flash at one point?
Yeah, he's
Like
definitely
the
good. He's up
military guy?
there. He voiced Lex Luthor in the old animated
Batman. Or
series.
animated. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Now
like
that I think
like
of it.
the OG DCAU. That was his
Yeah.
voice. Um,
Man, I
and
love
yeah,
that
but
guy.
he's always been a staple of like stuff. I really like his voice. I like his presence too. I did like him as Tom Maroney. Um, I don't like. Well, I maybe I do. The way that he went out was like kind of unexpected. You're like, what the fuck, seriously? But
Wait. No, don't talk to
okay, yeah, yeah. Sorry. I
The
forgot. I
way he
forgot.
went out, I'm gonna just say
No, he
he
went
got
out of like
stabbed.
the
He got
scene. Out of
stabbed.
the scene. Yeah, he went out of the scene.
Okay, we'll stop there because
We'll stop there. Anyways, on to the next thing. Um,
from
you
one
know,
gem
from one
un-
gem to
to
another
hidden
hidden
gems.
gem. So yeah, we kind of had this little idea to talk about. Like there's a lot of films out there that it's like, they were made, they were put out, but not a lot of people really talk about them, or not a lot of they're like the underrated stuff that no one really even thinks about or looks at. So we want to talk about those hidden gems of films that we have come up with. So we've all come up with three, even Kyle, even though he's on vacation. So did you want to shout out Kyle's three?
uh, Kyle's own. I've heard only one of them. I've seen the two like posters, but never really watched the film. So the first one is Treasure Planet.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't know, Treasure Planet's a Disney film. Yeah, like along the lines of Atlantis, or that like dead period, I guess, of their animated original film. So that one was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up and memorable, had a good score, good music, and just the whole concept in general. Then he shouted out Taxi Driver. Never watched that, and Stand by
Yeah.
Me. But
Mm.
I don't know. I was Well, would you really say those are? I feel like those were staple movies.
Yeah, I yeah, I kind of feel like they are. I mean, they're not. I mean, to our generation, maybe they
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
be.
That's fair. That's fair.
So
So
I
I
would
would say
say
it is a
in
hidden
that
gem.
realm,
Yeah.
yes, but I think for the most part, um, some of them are widely regarded.
Mm.
Taxi Driver with Robert De Niro and Martin Scorsese, obviously. Stand by Me. I don't think I've watched Stand by Me. Have you watched Stand by Me?
No, that's
Yeah, see, so that
probably.
kind of does count because
We'll probably watch it.
we
I
probably
don't.
watch it now, but yeah, obviously Treasure Planet we've seen. So yeah, those are Kyle's three. So how are we gonna do this? Like you, then me, then you, or you want to just
Sure. I'll do a throwaway. So,
okay?
again, just recovering from October, I feel like this movie has gained a popularity, but for sure, I'll be honest, I just got into it this year, but I feel like
Hmm.
Terrifier, and I talked about it last episode. Terrifier is one, dude. Terrifier is so
Okay,
good. So like
okay, yeah.
just by watching the first one you can tell this is a very low budget film, but I want to say it's a throwaway and probably like along the lines of hey, that's not fair, that's like a popular joint, but when
Hmm.
you do watch the first one, like I feel like you wouldn't care to watch it, but
Hmm.
once you get into it, like you get sucked into the story, even how bad it is. Like it's like what we said last time. It's so bad that it's good, kind of thing. So it's like I
Yeah,
haven't seen a film like that in a while where it's so bad that it's good. So I
right.
liked it. I'm in the story, and I know Terrifier 3 just came out. So dude, Terrifier 3. That's my throwaway.
Okay, all right. I'll name one, and I think I might have mentioned this in another uh episode before somewhere. But it's Lars and the Real Girl. It is with Ryan Gosling. Um,
Damn.
so it's a super old movie. Well, not super old. It's like 2007, but it's basically about this guy who's kind of a recluse, and all of a sudden he has this blow up doll that he's calling his wife. or his girlfriend or something. So he has like an actual.
Mm,
It's almost like her, but with a blow up doll. You know what I mean?
okay.
And it's just a really nice film. It's really funny. It has its really funny moments. Like I think one of the famous, like semi-famous lines from it is like, "Oh yeah, she's a missionary." I mean, like knowing the context of what she is, he's like telling people, "Yeah, she's a missionary." Um, and yeah, I thought it was really funny. Ryan Gosling is really good in that one. Um, I honestly thought he probably would have gotten an Oscar nom for it if it wasn't
Mm,
for. I think he already got one for another movie he did around the same time. Anyway, I don't remember the exact timelines of that, but there's also Half Nelson. I was gonna go with either this or Half Nelson. Um, for my hidden
okay.
gems. But Half Nelson is the one where he got nominated for, I think. But Lars and the Real Girl, it's at least a little more lighthearted. So I'm going with that as my first hidden gem.
Okay.
So yeah.
So I think my official first that I felt like that people would see a different light of him would be Adam Sandler's Uncut Gems. So
Mm.
if you haven't watched Uncut Gems, it's a totally different side of like
You were thinking of
Adam's.
gems.
No, 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 no.
I'm just
I
kidding.
put a slash in
I
between
know.
it,
I'm just
so
kidding. I'm
it's
just kidding.
I feel like if you want to see Adam Sandler like step into a different role, that's a film you should watch. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like it wouldn't be in anyone's radar because you would think Adam Sandler would do bad in this, but for
Yeah.
some reason he does really good in that role, which leads me to like I guess a secondary role where I feel like you can see him do a drama role would be a Hustle, which is basically him being a basketball recruiter, and he finds like
Mm-hmm.
a European player and he tries to get this European player play in the league, and like you see the like the father daughter or father son dynamic like throughout the series, and like you believe their relationship. So I think those two movies is like a different side of Adam Sandler if you're tired of seeing like the funny comedian side that we all know and love, but like seeing
Mm-hmm.
him play this dramatic role is such a huge difference, and like it's a it's nice to see. So I feel like that's something I feel people should watch at least or try to watch.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I still haven't seen Uncut Gems. I know I
Dude,
need to.
really?
Yeah, I know I need to. Uncut Gems. That's the same people that did the good times. I don't remember the one Robert
Ah,
Pattinson movie. But yeah, that's one of it's on my list. I remember wanting to watch it when like the Oscar season was
yeah.
up for that year. I just
You got
never got
snubbed.
around to it,
Just to add
and apparently that's what he
you
did.
got
Yeah,
snubbed,
apparently he
guys.
got
I'm telling,
snubbed.
and
So
you're gonna see why he got snubbed. When you watch it, you're like,
all
yo,
right,
he did
all right.
get
I
snubbed.
think I was starting it. I think I started it. I just don't remember finishing it or even getting past 10 minutes. But anyway, for my second one, it's another one that I did mention in an episode again. Um, it I don't remember when. It might have been really recent, but Smoking Aces
Smoking
from
Aces, yeah.
2006. Yeah, so this one stars Ben Affleck, Ryan Reynolds, Andy Garcia, Chris Pine, Common. There's a bunch of other people in it. Ray Liotta, Alicia Keys is in this. Let me see. It's a pretty well-rounded cast. And it might have been popular. I don't remember how popular it was back in the day when this came out, but I don't hear it in conversations at all anymore. And I don't
Hmm.
think it was really regarded as like a great action film in general. I'm looking at it. It has a 31% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I thought it was really fun. I thought it was really good, and the whole style of the movie was refreshing to me. I think in that day and age, and this is another one of those Ryan Reynolds. I think that's why I mentioned this. This is another one of those Ryan Reynolds films where he's like, yeah, he's kind of he's his own. He has his own character that where his himself kind of pokes through a little bit, but
Yeah.
especially the last scene in this film, it was really good. I think that's what sold me on him as an actor. I think it was this movie. Um,
Huh?
yeah.
Okay. That
So
sounds
it was,
cool.
yeah. It was. It's about. I can't even say what it's about. There's a bunch of stories that kind of all play into. It's about, so basically there's a guy that people put a bounty on,
Okay.
and and all these people are trying to kill
Or
him,
bounty
and
hunters?
yeah, basically, and then like
Okay, so bounty hunters,
yeah, there's
same
a
show.
whole other backstory regarding it with the Italian mob or something like that. But it was really fun. I thought it was really good. So I think that would be my second one. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go a little left field, but it's still part of the categories of
Okay.
that are in the Oscars. I'm going for a documentary. So, little fun fact is I love documentaries. I'm gonna
Okay.
go a little cop out, but I feel like people don't appreciate it as much in films that I feel like they do need to appreciate, which is the scores. So I'm gonna go with the score documentary film.
Ah, fuck! I've
Like
never seen that yet. Yeah.
it was such a good idea to highlight for those that don't appreciate those songs. And
Yeah.
I remember like that YouTube video, Every Frame of Painting, where they talked about like the Marvel score. How come it like no one remembers like that score? Like at that
Yeah.
time they don't remember the score because
Hmm.
like it plays a big part in the whole film. And like we talked
Hmm.
about it recently too, of like how you said like I think you said it was like an animated film, right? That you
I think
said
it was the
like,
Wild Robot. It
is it
might
a
have
Wild
been.
Robot? Like the
It
score was
might have
good.
been.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
kind
So
of
you said
helped.
like
Yeah.
this something about the score helped out the film. So I think people don't recognize that, and I feel like it's something that you should watch just to get the ins and outs on how they create the music, and like just seeing how memorable scores are. So I feel like that's another good film to watch
Hmm.
if you don't want to watch just an actual film, but like just a whole documentary in general. I
Hmm.
really do love it. That one's on Amazon Prime, and thank God I was able to watch it. It was so funny too.
Damn.
Like I watched it like a month or two ago, and like my family was along the ride, or like they're down for the ride, like while we
Hmm.
were like just eating dinner. They were like, actually
Damn.
it's pretty good. So like it got them like curious. Like they know the songs, but just the process and how they made it, and like
Right.
how it changed the evolution, the history, and all that other stuff. So it's pretty cool to see
Fuck
that one.
yeah. Was it like they showed like John Williams, Hans
Yeah, so
Zimmer, and
like
all that
the
stuff?
renaissance of
Yeah.
John Williams, like how
Yeah.
scores or how music played into movies, and like how we're in
Yeah.
that Hans Zimmer area, and like so like
Fuck.
it
I
shows
need to
like
see
the
that.
path of the timeline. You watched it already, right?
I don't think I did. I don't
Dude,
think
you
I
should
did.
watch the score. It's like
Yeah.
so good.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'll probably check that out soon. Speaking of scores, on the other side of that, for me, this one I really liked the soundtrack for. I don't know if the soundtrack's gonna be your vibe, to be honest. For some reason, it kind of sticks with me. So there's a movie called The Guest from 2014,
Hmm.
starring Dan Stevens, the Beast, like the live action Beast guy.
Okay.
Basically, it's about a dude that's like, so he's I think he was like a veteran. So he was like a veteran that all of a sudden visits his old comrade's family, like the comrade passed away. He visits his family and he stays with them for a while, and he starts helping them out. But there's obviously more to this guy that you're not aware of, and you could kind of see that. So it's just a whole story about him in that, and I thought it was really cool. It was kind of in the same vein of like a Drive, maybe. Um, but yeah, I like that one a lot. There's an air of mystery to him that I thought was really intriguing. Because it's
Yeah.
like he's doing these cool things for this family, but obviously, but in contrast to that, you're seeing some stuff that's kind of like, okay, maybe this guy's not right in the head. Um, but you're kind of just along for the ride, and you're waiting to see what happens. And the cool thing about this is, um, I brought up the score because I was like, so this one was kind of set up for a sequel, but it never really transpired. So the director, kind of got you know big. He started doing Godzilla versus Kong and
Mm.
all the other big movies that he's done. But he's always been wanting to do a sequel. I just think it never got greenlit. So in the form of a sequel, he created a soundtrack called The Guest 2, which you could actually search up. on Spotify or wherever. So it's basically his way of saying, "Hey, if there was a sequel, this is what it would be like." So it's like you kind of just go through that whole album
Oh, like just listening and you'll
just
see
listening
like
to it, and it was really cool. So yeah,
what
I thought that was really cool.
what an
So
interesting way.
that's why that's my hidden gem, and that was my kind of my leeway into the score thing. So
That's so cool.
yeah,
Dang, man. I like how like I think your choices are very not like I guess like it's not big and grand, like what you said,
yeah,
like Godzilla and Kong, they're not like big and grand. Like
mm,
I feel like you can find or pretty sure everyone can find like good stories in like smaller story movies like what we've been saying. So I feel like
hmm
that's pretty cool and like most of your choices have been like smaller stories which are awesome. I think my last one, I couldn't think of one again, but I had one. Mine's another documentary. I love documentaries,
damn, is it the Vince
dude.
doc? No, I was kidding.
No, I did, and to be honest, I was like, maybe that's why I'm just like on a documentary
You're
hype
the
right now.
documentary high right
I did
now.
finish
Damn,
the Mr.
the Vince
McMahon.
dude, that's crazy.
So, but the score documentary, I watched it like 2 months ago, but this one I haven't watched in a hot minute. But this is about this is stupid, but this is about donuts. It's called The Donut King.
The Donut King.
Yeah, The Donut King. So it's about an Asian immigrant who comes to America and how he was able to popularize a donut chain, um, in the West Side, the West Coast, basically, right? That's why
Copy.
they got
Oh,
the
okay.
infamous pink box. So like it was through him. That's why like donut shops have the pink box. So he was a reason.
Oh
So
shit.
he's the reason why or I guess the documentary showed how he was able to I guess like uh become big but also make it his own thing. So like his story is so funny because he really liked the idea of donuts. So he worked for Winchills or like some like yeah, Winchills because Dunkin' Donuts was all like East Coast, right? So
You say
Winchills was like
Winchell's?
yeah, Winchills
Damn.
was like a West Coast thing, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Then like he learned how to make a donut. Then like I guess when he got higher ups, he decided to like do his own thing.
Do his own
Then like that
thing.
thing happened, and everyone started you know copying his model of like how to make a donut because like Asian immigrants staying together, sticking together. They learn, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden like this chain formed, and like his growth and like his wealth and all that stuff, and like the ups and downs of being a business owner, all those different cool things. So like I don't know, it was just a cool watch, just seeing like how donuts and how this guy became like small to big, and I don't know, it's just a fun watch. It's on
Dude,
Hulu. I think it's still on Hulu.
I know
Last time I watched
I'm
it.
looking at the picture looks familiar.
Yeah,
Um
I
so
think that's
yeah,
what
I
got
kind
me
of
too. I think it
yeah.
was just a poster. I was like, wow, how come this looks like that? Then I watched it, then
You
I just
watched.
got sucked in.
Damn, son.
And it'll make you want a donut after.
Yeah, I was gonna say, fuck you, I miss Winchell's now, you fuck. Like I don't I mean I love the local stuff here too, but damn, there's something about a nice
Nostalgic. It's like just
Winchell's. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But I think there's still Winchell's in like Vegas somehow. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, damn. Okay, look at you, Mr. Documentary. What the fuck?
Documentary, man. I
I
love
think
documentaries.
the only documentaries I've seen or the yeah, they're like the murder mystery, like not the murder mystery, but like the murder, like like the real life, um, true crime type stuff. I think, the typical shit that people watch. That's the most that I've done. But yeah, it's interesting. I didn't think you would go that direction. So that was cool. I I can't hear you by the way. I think you're. Uh oh, we lost him. Oh no. Anyways, yeah. So that's what we were talking about hidden gems, and we were talking about. I lost Aaron, guys, so it's just me right now. But anyways, I think that would do it. I mean, if you have a chance to check out those hidden gems, definitely check them out. If you have a chance to check out Thanksgiving, a really fun slasher horror film, that is probably gonna be a franchise here
I'm
now, up
here.
and coming. Oh fuck! Okay, there he is. Okay, I was about to wrap up here.
I'm
Um,
here. I'm here. I'm sorry. Sorry.
I was about to, I was giving people the spiel already. Like, hey, check out these films. Check out the stuff we said. Check out these fucking
But
documentaries.
yes, please check it. I'm so sorry. I rushed back in. But yeah, I guess just to wrap it up, yeah, I'm a big documentary guy. If it's interesting, if it's not interesting, then I won't watch
Damn.
it. So
Okay,
I guess
what's
how
a
it's told.
okay? So like, is there another one that you would recommend? Okay, just for people to just you don't have to explain anything. Just give me a name, like a title.
I don't know what the title's called, but I did one for training. It's about reading. How like
Mm,
it's the concept is basically how there's people that are like millionaires or like business owners s- thrived, but they don't know how to read. So it was more of like an
damn.
educational purpose, and they survived this long without reading. So it's like it's just eye opening that things like that happen. I guess in our world. So,
Damn.
but that was cool.
Yeah.
That one's on Apple TV. I think it's like $20. I don't know what
Right.
it's. I forgot what the title is, but I thought that was a cool story as well.
But well, that's cool. Yeah, we got a bunch of documentaries for y'all to watch now. Some movies too. Like I said, Thanksgiving, definitely check that out. Probably gonna be a franchise now, and I can't fucking wait. Um, and yeah, thank you for
Yes,
watching the
thank
Spit
you
Talk
for. Yeah, oh,
podcast.
you got it. You got it.
I guess so. Follow us on our socials at TikTok, on YouTube, Instagram. Come on, you
Yes.
gotta appreciate Aaron's reels here, people.
Oh
And
no.
thank you for watching. My name
All
is
right.
Jan. Is that how we ended? I don't fucking
All
remember
right.
anymore.
Check us. Yeah, you said we'll catch us on the next
Check us.
episode. See
All
ya.
right, next episode. See you guys.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
What the fuck? God.